Hey guys, Finn here. Welcome back to another video. Where today, I'm going to be telling you about the Piggy storyline. I'm going to tell you start to end of the Piggy timeline. So yeah, just a few quick things before we start. I quickly want to mention. I should probably get my speaker out. So yeah, number one, make sure I've done a video with Tom. He's incredible. Make sure you go check him out. Tom, link in the description. And the video will be on Tom and Finn Plays. It's about Piggy. Link in the description. With Evie, but she doesn't have a YouTube channel, so obviously there's no link in the description. So, yeah. Second of all, in my father episode, how to build a Minecraft Piggy father statue, I said I'll be sorry for the fuzziness on my camera. It's not the best. I'm literally using the one that's inside of the computer, so sorry about that. As you can see, so yeah. Anyway. Yes, that was that, yeah. So yeah, I said how I would be doing one video every 2 weeks. That's only because I am going to be I'm mainly going to be doing Piggy videos for a while, just because of quarantine. I really want to try and just do the things that make me happy. So yeah, there will be a few random other videos sprinkled in, but other than that, it's mainly Piggy. So once this quarantine is starting to pick up, it will definitely be back to a lot of weird things. So yeah, yeah, and I said one every 2 weeks. It just depends on how I feel. If I forget the video, or like forget to record it, or just forget anything, I don't want to stress myself out. But I have got a bunch of videos pre-recorded, so luckily, yeah, just stay tuned for that. So let me tell you about Piggy. So let me just say, if you get bored, I don't know which side I am, but yeah, as you can see, look, I'm just a little window in the corner. Hello, down there, or up there, or up there, or down there. Probably down there. Hello. So yeah, you can see down somewhere. There'll be a little there'll be just some gameplay, so you can just watch me if you want on there, just being weird. So yeah, I'm playing some Piggy. So it all starts off in House, Chapter 1, where you were a player and you were a police officer. You were searching for somebody called George Pig, because he went missing in the house. But then suddenly a pig creeps behind you and hits the police officer with a bat. Which I'm just going to say you for the police officer. So when I say you, it means the police officer. So it hits him, it hits you with a bat. Then you wake up in a bedroom. You say, like, oh, I need to get out of here. And you find a weird, creepy little pig roaming around, who was later discovered to be Penny. But we'll get on to that. So yeah, you eventually end up escaping by visiting all the rooms in the house, hopping back in your police car and drives to a nearby police station. Obviously, because you're a police station, you want to go report back to say, oh, sorry, no, didn't find him. So he drives in his police car to the closest police station. Yes, well then. So after making it to the station, he goes in and he hears a speaker. Yeah, he hears a speaker. He hears a speaker go off, and it says, "Attention! There is a monster in the station. Get to the garage." which we later on see that is a good friend that will soon become infected, and yeah, she's called Doggy. We'll get to her. So, so from there, you must gather things around the police station to get gather things around the police station to get the garage open. So you'll do that while being chased by a Piggy, another Piggy, which we found out to be the last chapter, in chapter 1, when I talked about Penny. Yep, her mother. So yeah, you'll find her at the police station. After escaping the police station, you will find somebody in the car called Doggy. You and her drive off and try to go to a nearby city. But sadly, before you can make it to your destination, you run out of gas, and monsters from everywhere come to crowd you, and yeah, it's not the best. So originally it was the father of Penny. You got the mother, and I think it was teacher, and Sheepy, who you'll hear about later on. And there used to be Foxy and Teacher, but they were eventually removed, so it's just 3. So after that, after that, you and Doggy, you're surrounded. You've got no other way to go other than to flee into the nearby, very nearby, into the gallery right next to them. So you and Doggy go ahead and go into the gallery, which was boarded up, and you shouldn't have got in there. So they went in there. Now this is chapter 3, one of the least favourite ones, so you can skip ahead of this part, and the storyline will still make complete sense. So, yeah, a monster followed them into the gallery, and that was revealed to be the father to Penny. So, turns out you eventually what you did was, yes, there you go. So what happened then was you and Doggy, you run off, you escape from the gallery into you just run off trying to find somewhere to stay for the night. You eventually find a nearby campsite. So you stay at the campsite, and you stay at the campsite, and what you're going to do is just sleep there overnight and hope that the monsters don't follow you. Luckily, we thought no monsters followed us, but there was one that hesitated and followed us all the way, called Sheepy. Now, what Sheepy did was she was running around in the forest. Yeah, but we didn't know that because we were just sleeping. You were just sleeping, sorry. Eventually, you eventually commit with Doggy, and you go to sleep. No, you do not commit suicide. That's not what I was going to say. You commit to go to sleep. So you go to sleep, and in the middle of the night, you hear a strange. I'm sorry about this. There's something on my lens. There we go. There's something. Something happened, and Doggy, all you hear is a gulping sound, smash sound, and then I think it's a bark sound. That is Doggy being forced to drink a potion. We still don't know who forced her to drink a potion. It could be Mr. P. It could have been TSP. We still don't know. So yeah, it could have been anybody. So there, the player wakes up. Doggy has become infected. Doggy she's gone. Doggy's Yeah, Doggy's a boy. Doggy is a boy. So, eventually after that, Doggy is a boy, yes. You eventually leave Doggy behind, sadly. So you end up Skyping and leave the Piggy, you leave Sheepy and Doggy behind. But, sadly, forgot to mention, they were in the campsite, they escaped, and they were fine for 4 weeks. They slept there for 4 weeks, which is quite a long time. But yeah, anyway, carry on. So, you eventually escape and you find a walkie-talkie. On the other end is somebody you don't know. He says, oh, please help my friends in the school. So, that leads on to chapter 5, school. But the person on the other end of the walkie-talkie is someone called Mr. P. Now, you'll definitely learn more about Mr. P later on. So, what happens is, you go ahead into the go into the school, and there you find another monster. Turns out it was the teacher. The teacher already has drank the potion and got infected. Still, then again, we don't know who by. I've got no clue who by. But yeah, we do know because we can find a potion on her desk. Now, we eventually end up escaping the school, and with Bunny and his friend. So what happens then is we meet that person on the other end of the walkie-talkie. We meet Mr. P, and we were going to go and we were going to go make cures and, you know, be happy. But we, as the character, passed out. It's later revealed in the planned true ending for basically, it was revealed that Mr. P and Bunny actually, Mr. P and Bunny actually forced you to be knocked out. So yeah, because Mr. P found signs in you as basically like you got the infection, which we had the infection by being attacked in chapter 1. But somehow the infection isn't strong enough. Well, we're like stronger, so apparently we can just overcome it. So we've got it, but we haven't become a monster yet. It's kind of weird, but yeah, we end up passing out, and no, that's not coronavirus, believe me. So yeah, at the end we find out we faint, we obviously get knocked out, and we're in the hospital. So we got took to the hospital for further investigation. Now, we're still asleep. Mr. P and Bunny were handling us, but then sadly what happened was the hospital that we're at got raided. So I'm actually going to, yeah, that's fine. It got raided. So Mr. P eventually let's just go back. The hospital got raided, and basically Bunny got attacked. So what happened was Mr. P gave Bunny a quick potion, thinking it was the cure. Now, thinking it was the cure, and eventually what happened was he came and he gave the doctor, I believe, a cure. I don't know. He might have not. I don't know. It looks like he has, but yeah, he might have not. So what happened there was he went up onto the helicopter, told Bunny, when he's awake, come and obviously see me on the roof. So he goes onto the roof where the helicopter is, but sadly he decides to take off and go fly to a nearby military outpost. So we eventually wake up while Bunny's carrying us to just a medical room. We just wake up for the tiniest bit and we see Doggy, oh god, I'm not going to be able to say this, a hallucination, there we go, of Doggy. So yeah, we get carried to the hospital and yeah, Bunny tells us Mr. P's waiting on the roof. We eventually escape, leaving the doctor behind. Me and Bunny, well, you and Bunny escape. So we find out that Mr. P is left without us and we have to find another way out. We eventually find that there is, underneath the hospital, there is a metro station. So you and Bunny head down to the metro station to obviously try and find another way out. So eventually you drop down, you see a zombie Piggy in there who we don't know who it is yet. Some people believe it's Grandpa, some people don't. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, we go out and we eventually get the train working. We say, come on Bunny, we go in, but she eventually reveals that Mr. P gave her a potion and didn't end well. She said she would have, soon turned into the infected. Sadly, we had to leave her behind and carry on. So, after that, we want revenge on Mr. P for what he has been doing, because we still don't know that Mr. P has a bit of good in him. We head to his amusement park where we think he would be, but we were wrong. We eventually escape the amusement park where you find a fox called Foxy and a clown called Clowny, both infected. Foxy's in a cage, Clowny's running around trying to kill you. You escape Carnival and you go to confront Mr. P, but then suddenly, before you can, two people show up called Zizzy and Pony. Now these two are very important characters. So they tell us that they've got a nearby safe place that they want us to come to. They want us to head to and be safe. So we decide to head with them into the city. There we find the Ellie Enterprises, the person who run that, Ellie, and grandmother's Piggy Poutine, person who run that, grandmother, and then just a big apartment building, which I think that's where a bunch of the infected, like a fair few people in the rooms, and a bunch of the infected people came and knocked them all out and turned the others infected, which is, it might not be true, but that's what I believe. Those two, they tried to team up and kill us. Luckily we all escape by helping each other, and we're going to head into the safe place. It was so close, but then we heard noise from a nearby, there was an alleyway next to us, and we heard a noise in the end of that. There was a dumpster at the end, and we heard a noise from it. Turns out it was somebody was in the dumpster. So me, the person, and Zizzy went to go investigate, while Pony stayed behind and looked after people in the safe house, which were currently at the time Zizzy's two sisters, Mimi and Giraffe. There might be more, but those are the only ones we can say from Chapter 10's cutscene. Talking about Chapter 10, that's where we're leading into the mall. There we found out that there was a killer robot trying to get us, and there was a mouse called Mousy in the vents. We don't know much of their backstory either. We don't know. So eventually we escape Chapter 10 into into the back room where it was all boarded up. There we found the person who was hiding in the dumpster, which eventually revealed himself to be none other than George, the person who we were first looking for in chapter 1. We asked him why did he run, and he explained everything about how he went to go after his family visited the hospital. They came back and they looked scary. So he went to check on grandmother, but she was scary. So he went to hide in the dumpster. Then, basically, what I think is he saw us walking towards him, and I think like then we started charging towards him, and he got scared, so he ran and hid. I don't know, I could be wrong, but yeah, that's what I think. So yeah, eventually we go back to the safe place with George, and we let George, the sisters get along. Whereas me, you, Pony and Zizzy go onto a military outpost because you two basically need to, let's just say, you guys need to stop Mr. P. So you eventually go to a military outpost. Now, I'm going to pause our backstory there. I'm going to go over to Mr. P's. So, we left off at the hospital. He started flying and eventually he landed somewhere we don't know, and his researchers basically helped him suit up and become stronger by making him to a robot. But eventually somebody attacked him. We don't know much. Somebody apparently attacked him, and basically what happened was he got a bit crazy and he went to hide in the outpost with all the soldiers and torturer. But yeah, he ran into a power plant at the back of the outpost, where, what do you know it, another infected person was. But we'll get to that in a minute. Back to us, backstory. So, what happened was, we're in the outpost, we just complete it. We, torturers after all the soldiers are there, luckily Zizzy's there getting all the soldiers down, and Pony will go donk, and the Piggy. So yeah, we eventually end up getting so close to going in, but suddenly George was coming into the George, my sheets are falling. One sec, there we go. George actually came back and he said, oh, I really want to see the person who hurt my family. So, what happened there is we all fought because of distorted memory, which I'll get to in a minute. George was infected because of distorted memory. It's weird. Basically, turns out George apparently convinced the sisters to play a game of hide and seek, and he went hiding, but he came to us. So eventually we came up with an idea. So us and George go in to stop Mr. P, whereas Zizzy and Pony stay out and protect all the soldiers. Because the soldiers, when George was coming in through the plant, outpost, he attracted all the nearby soldiers, and they all wanted to kill him basically. So Pony went to go tell Zizzy a secret before they said, in his words, he said, oh Zizzy, if I don't make it out of this, I just want you to know. But then Zizzy says, alright Pony, it's alright Pony, I already know. So, we don't know what that is. Most people assume that, lovebirds. But yeah, we don't know. It could be. We're going to have to wait till Piggy 2 to see. So yeah, eventually, me, you and George head into the power plant with Mr. P and the other monster called Badgie. Now, you go in and you see Mr. P. He says, oh, you two aren't real. The people who I let down are here to haunt me. So yeah, he just says a bunch of weird random things about oh, he shouldn't be like he shouldn't be doing this. But yeah, we eventually find out that he's crazy, and we have to try and figure out something to snap out of him, snap him out of it. So what happens is we go to we go into the plant. We have to try and get the 2 potions, and we unlock some TNT while the Piggy and Mr. P are both chasing us. Even if it was just player. So yeah. After that, we place down the TNT, and what I believe is we get knocked out and we don't know what's happening. We just go back into a mindset of distorted memory, where we've got like all the weird distorted areas. So you spawn in, and there are 4 sections. There is a forest section where you spawn in, which is the cave section in forest. There is a carnival section, which is like where you use the hammer, and there is also a metro bit where like the vending machine is, and there is a school bit where like a bunch of dining tables are and such. So George is gone from this bit. That's why that's why I'm thinking it's kind of in a distorted memory mindset. Like, you keep thinking that you're George, so George is got it. It's weird, guys. Believe me, it's confusing. So yeah, we eventually get everything, and we go to the carnival, and usually we donk it and get the hammer. So we use the mallet to get the hammer. But in this case, we use the mallet and get a picture of Mrs. P. We go give that to Mr. P, and now you've got the ending. He says something like, oh, he's so sorry, and he explains all the bits that I've already said. So, sorry. So, basically, after that, the player and George, finally, George wants you to go back to Zizzy and Pony. Now, this is basically the bits where everything comes together. So, you've got the good ending. So, eventually, let's do the good ending first. So to get the good ending, you complete plant, don't press skip, otherwise that will ruin your entire thing. You have to walk to George. So eventually, you and George leave Mr. P behind. You meet up with Zizzy and Pony that have protected you and donked all the monsters and got them gone, basically. So what happened was then Pony asked her, where do we go from here? And George comes up with an idea, saying, oh, what if we look for a cure? So that is where we lead into Piggy 2 and the end credits. So there now is the bad ending, what we need to do to walk to Mr. P. The player, so what happens is you go to try to talk to Mr. P, and you say, like, oh, Mr. P, you need to tell us what happens. Now, this is the funny bit. Like, George is just standing there like, oh, look out. Oh, he's dead. Okay. So, yeah, George shouts, look out! And then it says your username. And then you turn around quickly, and then Badgie, with his, everyone keeps thinking it's a glow stick, or like a lightsaber, but I think it's like a bottle of a green substance, probably acid, I don't know. But he slices your neck. So then the credits roll. So that is the bad ending. Now, the true ending. This is the one that it says in its name is true, and it's, it explains the most story. But how you get it is you have to complete City on Player Plus Bot, but under a purple car, you find a picture of Mrs. P. Now, the reason why that's there is because I think when Miss P got infected, which we'll talk about in a minute, Miss P actually gave Miss P gave Mr. P a photo because she was obviously going to go soon. So she gave him a photo. Take this with you. Don't lose it. So we obviously must have saw that photo in City, and like when we got knocked out in Plants, we maybe thought of it again, and like you know how I said we knocked out and we could have thought about it. I don't know. Just weird memories. So yeah, what I think is you have to get that. Well, first things first, you have to get the photo. You need to walk out with it in your hand. So then you can press skip. It's safe to. Then you need to go and complete Plant again with your basically with. You need to do the bad ending, basically. By the way, you need to get every single ending before you can do this. So yeah, you go, and then you do the bad ending, and this is where the true story starts. So you walk to Mr. P. He says, starts off. He says, "I want to tell you my story, but you wouldn't believe me." Now. He wants to tell us his story, and we say, "Oh yeah, it's okay, Mr. P, come on, tell us." So eventually, he explains how he tried to help his wife. So he explains he wanted to basically make a cure for a sickness that his wife, Miss P, had. So he made a substance at the hospital. All the doctors said it's not safe, don't test it, but he didn't listen, and he wanted to test it. He needed to test it. So that's when the kind Piggy family came in, all but George. So Penny, father, and mother, they all came in and took the potion. So that's 3, because we know the TSP could stand for the 7 potions. I don't know, but there is 7 potions. There is 7 potions. So then we fought like Teacher, Barry, and I don't know, Barry, maybe Doggy and Bunny. I don't know, maybe replace that Barry with Miss P. Oh, actually, Miss P. All the 3 Piggy family, Bunny, Bunny, Doggy, Teacher. Maybe. So what happened there is you eventually he tells you like, oh, he basically the Piggy family came in. He heard news that the Piggy family were getting stronger. He was overwhelmed and gave it to Miss P immediately without thinking twice. Eventually he heard that the Piggy family started becoming hostile. He thought Mr. P thought it was nothing to do with his cure. It's fine, but eventually Miss P became hostile too. He wanted to try and stop her, but he didn't have the heart to, so he just let her go. So that's why we can see her in the window of chapter 9 in her apartment, just watching us. So last time we saw her, she had red glowing eyes, and he said he was the one who knocked us out in the sewer. He told us about that. He said like, oh, we found signs of you. So yeah, eventually you say your goodbyes, say goodbye Mr. P, we won't forget you. And then the end, then basically it happens again, but it's just basically that's the true ending. But then also after that, then it's the good ending. So technically the good ending is also the true ending, just without the original bits. So yeah, after that the end credits fly. But the end credits are a bit different this time. So usually there's like a bit of every single map, and then like old picture, new, like what's happening now. Old picture, what's happening now. Like for every map. But in the true ending, it's weird because Penny, she's gone. I think then nobody's in the chapter 2. Chapter 3, nobody's in. Chapter 4, Doggy, gone. Chapter 5, Teacher, gone. 6, Berry, gone. Chapter 7, Bunny, gone. Chapter 8, none. Chapter 9, Grandma, gone. Chapter 10, nobody. Chapter 11, nobody. And chapter 12, usually there's Mr. P's hat. That's also gone. So, we don't know what happened there. So, yeah. All the blanks I've missed out are for Piggy 2. So, we need to wait till Piggy 2 comes out. And, yeah, we'll eventually see what's happening. So, distorted memory. I said I was going to tell you about that. I forgot about that. So, distorted memory. Distorted memory is one of the weird ones. I'm actually going to plug my phone in because it's only got 21%. Say that like it's. I'll say that like it's not a lot. Really, it is. I just think that 5 is a high percentage. Really, I keep using my phone when it's 5%. Anyway, that's not to do with Piggy. Distorted memory. This is not really story related. It's a bit weird. It's kind of is, kind of isn't. So, you are George. This is not a chapter. It's distorted memory. So, this is the memory is the bot of this. It's weird. Listen, just listen. You'll see. So, before we found George in the mall, he went to sleep and he remembered a horrific nightmare. And apparently now, every time he goes to sleep, he will remember this nightmare. So, it starts off with him going, what a nightmare. Penny, are you awake? So, he looks up and Penny is gone. He tries to find things to get out the house where... So yeah, he just tries to find items to get out the house and try and find Penny. In the back garden, here's the two things that aren't really explained. In the back garden, there's a pair of 2 glowing red eyes. Maybe Mr. P, maybe someone else. We don't know. And there's like a weird room where there's like a coffin with tentacles coming out of it. I mean, with distorted memory, 2 skins were added, and that was Daisy and Parasy. So maybe it's Parasy, because Parasy has some tentacles. I don't know. They're grey. It's weird. So yeah, we need to give. There's 2 hands sticking out the coffin. Give a dinosaur toy and a robot toy, which we believe, which I believe, represent Robbie and Dino Piggy. Yeah, you give them to the hands. They give you the white key. You can escape. It's basically just like a distorted house map. It's weird, but with like a black and white bot. So yeah, you end up escaping, and you walk out the house, and eventually you just find Penny there, just standing there. And then you're going to eventually go, Penny, wait up, where you going? Eventually, then she just walks off into the blackness of the night, and never to be seen again. I'm assuming it's she, like, Mom and Dad have already gone to the hospital. Penny is concerned about her Mom and Dad's health, like, oh, where are they? It's been quite a while. And then, like, they're already trapped, so Mother and Father, so Mother's in the station, and maybe Father's in the station as well, because eventually Father doesn't spawn in the gallery. Gallery. Father is outside and then goes into the gallery. Mother is in the station, then goes out of the station. So, I'm assuming that it's Penny going out to try and see where her mum and dad are, and then Mr. P giving her a potion might be. I don't know, but eventually Penny just walks off, and George just drops to the ground. Then he says, "No, not now. It can't be happening." And eventually, and you just wait, and then his eyes turn red. I'm sorry, I'm saying eventually a lot. So yeah, his eyes turn red, glowing red. So we all thought he was infected and he was lying like he's good, and I don't think it is. I never thought it was. Because then he just wakes up in more and goes, "Oh." And it looked like he was asleep before, so it looks like it was a nightmare. So yeah, that is what I believe it is. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Hopefully you didn't get too bored, because there is Piggy gameplay somewhere. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Just one more quick thing to mention is thank you. I've got a video out. It's basically like Piggy. It's basically Piggy, and it's basically what it is it's like Piggy chapter 1, 6 and 7 in Minecraft. We've also added like the main hallway, the traitor room and the Piggy spawn room, which isn't complete yet still. So yeah, thank you so much for all the support on that. You guys are amazing. You guys are absolute legends. When I say legends, I do not mean novice nuts. Please do not think I like the novice nuts, because I hate them. I hate the novice nuts. So, and also, what names are? I think these are names. I think my sister watches them. Saber, Biggie, Nocky. No wait, I think it was Socky, Naz, Biggie. They're horrible names. Yeah, I think they had a baby called Disco. All I said, and they live in Australia. One quick funny thing to mention about that. Someone said, "Oh, why the novice nuts? Why the novice nuts not uploading?" And I was originally talking about I was talking to Ola about copper, and she said, "Oh, one of two reasons. One, they might be being affected by copper. It's like copper, like COPPOR, copper, and then she said, or they've all died in the Australian bushfires, which would be quite nice, but no, I don't think they did." So yeah guys, thank you so much for all the support on that video. You guys are amazing. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video then. Yeah, bye guys.